Good evening, gentlemen. Hello, it's Steady Eddie here. It's 10 o'clock. I know I'm about an hour late, but I slept in. I crashed out. I've had a busy day, and then early evening, I was doing things, and then I just, with the heat, because it's been very hot, and that's no excuse, but I crashed out. Anyway, and I only just woke up half an hour ago. So anyway, if you're watching this on replay, hello, good evening, good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. Okay, so I'll just say hello to a few people. Richard O is here. Nice to hear from you, Richard. Yeah, we just woke up from me nap. But better late than never. I mean, yeah, I religiously do Monday and Tuesdays at 9 p.m. as you may know. But weekend is going to be a little bit different, isn't it? Let's see. Serge Yard is here. Nice to hear from you. Richard O, as per I've cancelled my TV license and only watch YouTube and Netflix. Well, good for you. What does Netflix? Netflix, does that work out more expensive per year than the TV license? I can't even remember what I pay for Netflix. But Netflix is better. I can go to the pub if I want to watch the sport. Good for you, mate. Anyway, good for you. Don't blame you. Nicholas is here. Nice to hear from you. Matthew Cartwright. Nice to hear from you, mate. Dave the Dash, yeah. Good evening. Yoz Travels is here. Nice to hear from you, mate. Smooth Operator. Wow, such a cool name, that, isn't it? Nice to hear from you. Azev Sharif. Hello. Let's see. McLaren F1. Hello to you. He's just had 4 packs of Tiskies. Is that Polish beer? That is it. Barry from EastEnders. Nicholas. Well, it's 10 p.m. What happened to 9 p.m.? Slept in. I mean, I woke up. It goes dark at about just after 8 o'clock now, doesn't it? I woke up and like it was already just about dark, and then I dragged myself out of bed, and yeah, and I mean, fun up. By the time I got set up, it's 10 o'clock. So apologies to anyone who was waiting earlier. Let's see. Wayne Ritchie. Hi, Eddie, and everyone else in the chat. I like the sound that says you only live once at the end of your live show. So too, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. All the cliches, life's not a dress rehearsal, and all that kind of stuff that you probably hear before. It's I don't believe in reincarnation. I mean, if I did believe in reincarnation, I would imagine I'd come back as a tampon because my life has been a bloody mess. Okay, anyway. Dan 1560, nice to hear from you. Wayne Vosper, good evening, Eddie. Hello from Wayne in London, Philippines, just 7 weeks ago. 7 weeks away. Okay, good for you. That's end of October, isn't it? Well, good for you, Wayne. Sounds good to me. Billy Bob, sleeping on the job, Eddie. Too much hot chocolate. I only have 1 or 2, per evening of hot chocolate, and one of them's right here. After my early evening kip, it kind of settles me, this. Oh, wonderful. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Gaz is it. Gaz is here, Gaz 77. Hi, mate. I'm off to Mexico next Saturday. I'll be in Mexico until at least February. Why don't the supermarkets wear body cameras there? I thought Gaz would be in collar because some of these supermarkets here, which he fills his trolley up and then dashes off without paying. Some of the security guards have started wearing body cameras now. So anyway, good luck in Mexico. Anyway, I'm sure you'll have a lovely time. Yes, Travels, good news. I've moved my Thailand trip a month forward and go in 3 weeks. Wow, good for you, mate. Makes visa runs a little more difficult, as I've already done a trip this year. Well, going there in 3 weeks. Good for you, mate. Does that mean that you're coming back 3 weeks early, or you're staying out there? So it's going to be a longer trip overall. Good for you, mate. Good for you, mate. If you can do it, good for you. McLaren, the local president, wasn't a fair. I'm sure Mr. Trump will be around somewhere. Hope he's okay. Bobby Crush. I'm only announced a 90-day visa exemption. It will come into force very, very soon. Yeah, let's hope they do. Let's hope they make that a permanent thing because you've got to be tourist friendly, haven't you? I mean, Vietnam has now got 90 days. Malaysia, Cambodia hasn't, but they've got a more generous visa overall. So yeah, but I hope Thailand does get a 90-day tourist visa. Barry from East End, having a nap is such a lovely privilege. It's free. Kiki and Jasmine, I arrived back in Ireland today after 4 months of travel. Okay, well, good for you, mate. Good for you. Good for you. Hope you had a good time. Oh, I'm starting to get those, Thailand blues now that we're into September. This is the time of year when I've already got something booked, and I'm looking forward to the winter, the excitement of the cold winter in and getting on an aeroplane. I don't think I'll be doing it this winter because I think I'll be going on a one-way ticket, round about the spring. You know, so even the spring, that's not very far away, but got to get the winter out of the way with first of all. McLaren, shame about the Pattaya floating market. Been there twice. Nice place to visit. I never went to the Pattaya floating market, but it looks very, very sad. I mean, if people have got businesses there that they depend on. I thought of with them. Cats and Good Coffee. Nice to hear from you. I'll put that on the screen there. Okay, nice to hear from you, mate. Stuart. Stuart Marsden, evening there, back from cars, having had my fill of mythos and alpha beers. Okay, well, good for you. The Greek islands are beautiful, fantastic. Richie Rich, 54 days until I get back to Thailand for second time this year. Okay, good for you, mate. Good for you. Good for you. Bobby Crush is talking there about the floating market fire. Yeah, Richie Rich is talking to yours travels there. Yeah, Ben Davies, excuse me. Ben Davies, Ed, when are you moving to live in Thailand, mate? Well, I'm looking at going abroad, one way indefinitely. Indefinitely, that's a good word, isn't it? And I think I'm going to be going round about the spring, which is not that far away. That's only about 7 months away, something like that. 7 months away. So, but it's not necessarily Thailand. I will be either there or another Southeast Asian country. We'll see what happens anyway. I haven't actually picked a base just yet. Gaz, Gaz, I've been banned from Asda and Tesco, so now I need to move into the shops in Mexico. I got banned from Tesco's last week for eating ice cream in store without paying. Oh, you naughty boy! I'm sure the Mexicans are going to love you, mate. I'm sure they're going to love you. Yours travels longer trip, doing 5 nights in KL as a visa run. Okay, well, that's good. I mean, I've been to KL a couple of times. I mean, it's a good city. You kind of get used to it, I suppose. But some people love KL, but you really, really do need to find your way around that area where the nightlife is. Looks a bit better. I wish I'd have stayed more time there. Construction. Philippines is implementing 90 days before Christmas, and you can extend it for 3 years on a tourist visa. Really? Is that? I mean, is it really as simple as that? You can extend it for 3 years on a tourist visa. That sounds very, very generous, doesn't it? Oh well, we'll see about that. Cats and good coffee. Let me just drink more of my chocolate. Oh, that's lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Cats and good coffee. I'm happy to hear that you are going to move to retire in Southeast Asia soon. Good move because UK Europe future does not look good and getting super expensive to pay bills, food, etc. Absolutely. I mean, my own opinion of the UK is that it's just become a bit bland. And I want the final years of my life to be a bit more exciting. I don't want the final years of my life, even if I have enough money to retire. But what am I going to do? Am I going to walk down to Weatherspoons each day and and sit there with all the other depressing bastards? I don't want it to be a turn out like that. I want something more out of life than that. Leeds, nice to hear from you. Tom Streeter, at 10 o'clock live stream, just like the good old days. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Nicholas, Lao visa extensions are walk in the park here. It's just a pain they cannot give straight 90 days rather than having to do a 30 days extension each time. It wastes pages in your passport. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, 90 days. I think that's quite a long time to spend in Laos. I mean, I was in Laos for 30 days once. And maybe if I got to know the country a bit better, but I thought 30 days was about enough for me. As for passports, I've got to renew mine. That's what I've got to do. I'll probably better do that before Christmas, in the next couple of months. So at least when I leave here, I'll have a good 10-year fresh passport. So I need to get that done pretty soon. Ben Davies, okay, thanks for that, mate. Thanks for that. Wayne Vosper, I booked Cathay Pacific in November for 698 quid to Manila. Decent price for a good airline with good connections. Secret is booking 9 months before. Okay, fine. Thanks for that, mate. I had a friend, who well, I have a friend. He went to the Philippines early this year, and he had a terrible time. He had a dreadful time, with flights cancelling and taxis ripping him off and all kinds of stuff. He didn't have a good experience, even though he was used to it. He'd been there enough times before. John Atkinson, ever tried the CGs on Boomerang? No, can't say I have. Richard White, let me just drink a little bit of cocoa. Hot chocolate out of the co-op. Oh, lovely stuff. Richard White, another vlogger advised that £1,000 spending money per week in Pattaya is a good amount. What do you think? £1,000 a week, I'd say that's more than enough. That's you can really go quite over the top. You could eat, drink, be merry, and have your rumpy pumpy and be a big hit with the girls and everything. £1,000 a week spending money in Pattaya is a generous amount. So definitely, unless of course you're one of these guys who can, he loves ringing bells and going over the top. I mean, I once met a guy who said that he spent £1,000 in a day in Pattaya. It's quite possible if you want to barf on everything you see, but £1,000 you can do okay. You can have a great time on £1,000 a week. Seamus Doherty, have you considered Spain or Portugal for retirement? Funnily enough, I was looking at some apartments, on in the Costa del Sol, where I've been watching a few of those videos, and they keep coming up on my list. And some of those apartments, I mean, there's none of them are that cheap, but if you want one for a reasonable price, then a lot of them look like they're well lived in, and some of them look quite run down. I mean, I must admit, I went to Benidorm once, and it was great fun. But Spain or Portugal, okay, my best friend's going out to Portugal this week, and so we'll be giving a review of that. So, but it's not really my retirement destination. I'm headed to Southeast Asia. I'm looking at Southeast Asia for retirement. Yeah, yours travels. Cambodia and the Philippines is still not appealing to me. That may change as the years go by. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, things do change in that part of the world. I mean, some of those, Cambodia seems to be the place with the most reasonable visa, uncomplicated. But how long's that going to last? I mean, Vietnam was tipped as a hotspot for the time in some years ago, and then all of a sudden they changed the visa and made it more difficult to obtain it, or even impossible for expats to have an expat visa. So you never know what's coming next with these countries. Let's see. Russ Thomas, hey Ed, you're looking good. Being off the grog is working for you. Okay, thanks for that, mate. Thanks for that. Your travels, my missus is from Mutakan on the Lao border. You can walk across the bridge and do a visa run in 10 minutes. Handy for the future. Well, that sounds good. Do you still have to pay $20 for a tourist visa to get into Laos? Because I did. I went there via Cambodia when I went to Laos. Gaz77, I've got loads of money in my bank because I don't pay for anything. Oh, good for you, mate. Good for you. But Yaz is a maverick. I think that's the right word, isn't it? Sergio, Eddie, my friend, arrived in Vietnam a couple of days ago. He says great nightlife and many women. Vietnam's a great country. It's a terrific country. I've been there many times. I've traveled lots of places in Vietnam and I will go there again. Funny enough, I was buying my giant ginger beer from the co-op, this afternoon, and the young man servant said, "I like your T-shirt, this one here, this T-shirt here." I said, "Oh well, next time I'm out that way, I'll get you the T-shirt." He said, "Oh no, I'll get my own. I've already been there once, and I'm going there again next year." So the guy at the co-op didn't seem the type who goes to Vietnam, but apparently he loves the country. Sergio, many women in low season, mate, and lower prices. Okay, fine, thank you. Gaz says my mate's grandma paid for my flight to Mexico. Does she know that she's paid for it? You haven't stolen a credit card, have you? Nicholas, I'm staying there in Laos because it's dead cheap to stay. 120 for a fan and air conditioning room. You cannot complain. Plus, the women like me here, and the odds are good for me. Okay, well, good for you, Nicholas. Good for you. You get a lot of Lao women who work in Pattaya, in Pattaya and other other areas of Thailand. Well, one thing I thought about the people of Laos. I mean, I started the 4,000 islands and then went up the countries all the way to the Mekong, through the main places in Laos. And I didn't think the people had the best personality there. They appeared to be very, very kind of nondescript. I mean, they, kind of nondescript. They didn't seem to have the same personality as Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand. It's like as if tourism was new to them. So, some countries are like that. But you obviously love the place. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Kiki and Jasmine, taxi drivers in Manila can be a bit dodgy. Better to get a hotel shuttle service in a good hotel. Okay, that sounds like good advice to me. Gaz, Portugal is a great country. I spent 10 weeks there earlier this year. Really, Jesus, all that saving from not paying his way in this world seems to be doing well, doesn't it? There we go. Oh, cats and good coffee. There are rumors that the price of a Thai elite visa is going to be more expensive soon, up to 1 million baht for 5 years elite visa. So what's that? 1 million baht. Is that about 20 grand or something like that for 5 years? Is that about 4 grand a year? Or four grand? No, I think it's more than 20 baht, 20,000. I think it's more. 1 million. No, I think it's more than about 22 grand. in English money, isn't it, for 5 years? That doesn't work out very good value. Not good at all. Nicholas, right now in Paxi at the moment. Paxi. Okay, good for you, mate. Good for you. I crossed from Laos from there into Thailand, and or did I get a flight directly to Chiang Mai? I can't remember what I done. That was about 12 years ago. Let's see, John Atkinson. I've always thought a budget of around 80 to 100 a day is fine in Pattaya. In terms of pounds, yeah, that sounds like a good budget. Some days you would go over that, if you indulge in the ladies. But other days you may just cut back and do a lot less than that. But if that was your average, 80 to 100 quid a day, yeah, in Pattaya, you'd have a good time on that, definitely. Richard White, is there anything you want to tick off your bucket list in Pattaya? Well, not really. I mean, I would have already done it if been there enough times. A bucket list in Pattaya. Um, double sandwich, double sandwich. Maybe, possibly. Yeah, Jesus, that probably would cause cardiac problems. There, Nicholas. 30 days for a £120 hotel. I'll take that rather than be stuck in the UK at the moment. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Sounds good to me. Okay. Yeah, Wayne Rooney. Sorry, Eddie, I got to go now. It's my daughter's 16th birthday, and she wants me to take her to dinner and a movie. Okay, good. Well, okay. Happy birthday to happy birthday to Wayne's daughter. Anyway, and wonder what movie you're going to choose. Yeah, whatever. Let's see. It wouldn't be that one. I watched that the other night on Netflix. I'll do a review of that later. No, I watched it on Amazon, didn't I? Okay, have a great time, Wayne, and happy birthday to your daughter. All the best, mate. Steve Zodiac, don't be scared about visas, health insurance, or you'll never have the guts to leave. Okay, don't be scared about visas and health insurance. Absolutely. I mean, the thing is, you've got to look at the alternative. I mean, I'm not going to stay in Britain simply because, the national health is guaranteed to look after me in any case of illness, including a heart attack. I mean, I could stay here and live a bland and boring life in England, and then come the time that I have a heart attack, I may not even make it to hospital. I might just die on the spot. Yeah, quite right, mate. Quite right. Yours travels. It's a very, very local border crossing on the new Freedom Beach. Apparently, a little bung gets you a lot of Thailand for it. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Good for you. Nicholas is talking about Lao. Well, maybe Lao is maybe it's time that I thought about Lao. It's really good here. I went to well a number of places in Laos. One of the places I went is Vientiane, and that is the most uncapital like city I've ever been to. It was more like a town. But I'm sure once you get to know Laos, I'm sure it's a good place. Harry Holt. Yes, Ed, I've just got home from a night cycle to return home to have this live chat. Hope you're good, mate. Okay, cheers. Hope you had a good night, mate. And Harry has got his holiday booked for Thailand in March next year. Okay, good for you. Good for you. Englishman in Malta is here. He's found his little oasis in Malta. Yeah, has a great YouTube channel as well. So please check him out. Nice to hear from you, mate. I hope all's well. Bobby Cross. Yes, I'm really thinking of going and having a look at Lao. What I found with Lao, I mean, what I found with Lao is that it seemed to be more popular with younger people. I mean, a lot of those backpackers look very young, 18, It seems to be enough. And another strange thing, there's one of those towns there, there's a Van Vieng, where you go around the bars, especially in the daytime, and they've got big TV screens, and they're showing that bloody awful program, Friends. They're showing reruns in the bars in Van Vieng, and the young people seem to love that. Seems really, really strange, really. And also, they do that tube in there, don't they? Which is dangerous. Beware of that. Let's see. Yours travels. Ed, you have 10 coffees today. You're flying through the comments, normally 10 minutes behind by now. Well, there was less people to start off with, you see. So it's not, it's not that bad. No, I had about half a dozen coffees earlier on. Guys, no, she doesn't know. Went over one night and she was snoring. Guy's talking about his mum's credit card. No, she just went over one night and she was stoned. So I started looking for flights to Mexico. I didn't have my card though, so I had no choice but to use hers. Oh, when your mate's granny gets hold of you, you've got some explaining to do. So Nicholas is telling us about Laos. 12,000 kip for a beer. I can't remember what that is. And food ranging from 25 to 50. You cannot really complain. I can't remember what currency that works out as, but it sounds all right. Yours travels, cars and good coffee. It's not rumours. It's already happened for next month. Are you talking about the Thai visa? Let me see. Let's see. Daniel, where I had, will you be selling up and moving to retire or keeping on to come back to just in case something? I'm keeping a foothold in this country. Let's just say that. But I'm not going to go into personal details, but I'm keeping one foot in the grave, I suppose you could say. Simon Eyes, evening Eddie, just heard on the news that Mike Yarwood has died, aged 82. Yeah, Mike Yarwood was a TV personality. I don't think he was classed as a comedian. I think he was more a impressionist. He did some brilliant TV impressions, and the Mike Yarwood show with the special effects that he had on it as well, the BBC special effects. But he faded away, didn't he, Mike Yarwood? After that, he he faded away, and he's died at age 82. He was famous in the 70s. The 70s was a very, very, very long time ago. So, so whatever happened? Whatever happened to Mike Yarwood after the 70s TV show? Kiki and Jasmine, Myanmar is a country I'd like to visit. Off the menu for a few years, though. It's a pity, really. So much potential. Well, I've heard good things about Myanmar. Apparently, it's a great cultural experience. I tried to go there some years ago, about 10, 12 years ago, whatever. But I was in Thailand at the time, and I found the visa was a bit awkward. And they said you should have got your visa sorted when you were back in England. And I've never made it there yet. But they're having terrible problems, and I don't think they take kindly to someone walking around pointing the camera either. There's too much. I don't know. There's too much military stuff there. Yeah, Nicholas says flights to Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam cost just 100 quid. Is that from Vientiane? Harry Holt, if that's the case, re-visa costs, I'll be in trouble in 10 years when I want to retire there. But I guess I'll have to weigh up where's best value in Southeast Asia. Okay. Cap over Mike. I've been watching Scotsman in Tenerife. Yeah, I do as well. He's in Marmaris in Turkey. It looks brilliant. Marmaris is it's a bit scruffy. I was based in Fethiye when I had my place there, which is much, much nicer. Um, I watch a lot of the Scotsman in Tenerife. I do watch him. He's good and he works very, very hard at his channel. And he's in Marmaris in Turkey. I want to see those videos. I want to see how the Turks react to his camera because when he's walking past bars in Benidorm or Tenerife or even Portugal, He can walk past bars in restaurants. Whereas in Turkey, you've always got a man standing outside the restaurant, and his camera will be noticed far more than he would in other countries. I mean, Turkey was the one country where I was walking around with my GoPro strapped to my chest, and I had a serious altercation with some bloke over it because he reckoned I was filming the Wongas, you know. So I wonder how the Turks will react to his camera. It's in Marmaris. I want to see those videos. I think that'll be interesting. Yeah, he's got a good channel, Scotsman and Tenerife. Excellent. He's doing well, isn't he? Yours travels, double sandwich with a strap on. No, I think we'll leave the last bit out. Definitely not for me. Gaz 77. Do you agree that the UK is a shit already? Only if you go to some of the towns and cities, maybe. I mean, I was driving today through the beautiful Devon countryside in the glorious sunshine, and it's lovely. It's lovely when you drive through the lovely Devon countryside. It's absolutely beautiful, especially when the sun is hitting the fields and the hills and all that. And it's lovely. So I don't entirely agree with you there, guys. Yeah, Richard White just got a quote from a Thai visa agent for 1 year. O visa, 29,000 baht, and that includes bank accounts and depositing the 800,000 baht in your account. Well, 800,000 baht, that's about 20 grand, isn't it? It's something like that. They want a lot, and then you've also got haven't you, as well as all of that, haven't you got to then have proof of, something, a pension fund of a whopping amount as well. It's not easy. I think it's doesn't it say that you've got to have 800 grand in an account in Thailand, or the proof of is it 1,600 pounds in English money per month pension or something like that. I forget the details, to be honest with you. Nicholas, very true, Eddie. I agree with you about VNTN. Yeah, I'm sure it's a pleasant town. It doesn't seem like a full capital city, which may be a good thing because if it's someone who's traveling to that place for the first time, it's less daunting, really. Wayne Ritchie, Eddie, the movie my daughter wants to see is the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I'm going, okay, enjoy it, mate. I hope you have a good time. I can't remember the catchphrase from that movie. I've never actually seen that one. Richard White, one-stop visa services, Pattaya. I use Cambodia visa on Soy Cats and good coffee. I've just confirmed that are not rumours. Bangkok Post posted an article last 4th of September on the new Thai elite visa prices, and the 5-year visa costs 900,000 Thai baht, 20,182 quid in English money, which is that's about 4 grand a year, and that is bloody expensive. That's expensive for a visa. I mean, you know what I mean. As well as all your other costs to retire. That's bloody expensive. That is. Well, Stacey too. Getting close to my trip to Vietnam in December. Good morning, Vietnam. Good for you, mate. Telecom is here. Nice to hear from you, mate. Did not think you were on today. Glad to call you. Well, I wasn't quite so sure about this one, so that's what I thought. I'll sleep on it. But I slept too much, and I only woke up about half an hour before this stream. Nice to hear from you, mate. Hope all's well. Wayne Vosper. Wayne Vosper. I had in my experience, if you're unsure of the country you're staying in or have no one to meet you, I ordered a car from a good hotel I'm staying in, especially if you're so tired after a 14-hour flight Okay, well, that makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Yours travels £1 to 25,000 kip in Laos. Okay, fair enough. I know Nicholas gave some examples. Can't but I thought, you know, because I can't remember. I thought I seem to think recall using dollars when I was there. Nicholas, you can leave on £5 here if you don't drink. Or you can live on £5 here if you don't drink beer. But beer wisely, roughly 20 quid or 30 quid to the pound is 25k to £1. Okay, fair enough. Yours travels. Myanmar is still horrendous with political and military problems. I know. I'm really at my stage in life. You know, I'm not really drawn to countries which have political intrigue and all that kind of stuff. I want to go to countries that I feel relaxed in, and I don't think I could feel very relaxed there, especially if I was trying to make YouTube videos. Let's see. JX, what are you going to? What are you going to karaoke song, Eddie? Well, I rather like Ernie, the fastest milkman in the West. Telecom. Louise Brooks' profile pic. Yeah, she was absolutely beautiful. She was an old silent movie star, wasn't she? Let's see. Kirby. 19 days. I'll be flying to Bangkok via Eva. Good airline. Hopefully, nothing to complain about. No, I've never had a problem with Eva. With Eva. Very good. Yours travels. I've done Tenerife 5 times. So cheap still. Accommodation not cheap in flights, but food and drink still great. Okay, fair enough. I never went to Tenerife, but I went to Gran Canaria once in the month of January, and it was lovely. I mean, it was absolutely. I didn't swim in the sea there or the ocean, but you know the beaches. You know, it was lovely weather and everything in the month of January. Nicholas, two large cans of small for £1 beer lao. Okay, that's quite nice, that beer lao. Nick Ross, you have missed out. Yangon is fabulous. Gale's fantastic. Countryside fantastic. Cheap old colonial style. Best place in Asia, even today. Lots of old colonials still live there. Okay, so I've missed out on Myanmar. Well, you know, like I just said a moment ago, I mean, you know, if it's going to be any political problems and all that, I mean, it's not the place I want to go to. Malcolm Crick, come and drive to the countryside here in Chiang Mai. Okay, I'm sure. I've been to Chiang Mai, but I never actually drove around the countryside there. Yeah, Telecom. P.S. The rats are winning. Okay, is that from that movie V? Is it the rats are winning? Let's see. John Kay. Cambodia is a good place to visit, but it felt a bit rough around the edges to live in for me. It depends. It's a mixed bag. I mean, Phnom Penh, you either love it or hate it, and I know some people just couldn't put up with the rubbish and whatever. And generally, Cambodia, it needs to improve with the rubbish, you know, the garbage and the rats and all that kind of stuff. Um, you know, but it's got a lot of charm too. And you know, a place like Siam Reap is a lovely place, and also Kampot. When I went to Kampot, that a lot the expats who live in Kampot. I've never met so many expats who feel that they made a really wise decision moving there. So Cambodia still got a lot of good things about it. Harry Holt, proof of pension funds to roughly 1,500 quid per minimum per calendar month. You see, that's expensive. So if you want to retire on that old visa in Thailand, you're looking at bunging 20 grand in a Thai bank account. and leaving it there untouched for about 6 months, plus proof of pension. Quite often I find it says, or I don't think it is, or I think it's plus myself, plus proof of pension funds too, roughly 1,500 quid minimum per account a month, which is a generous pension by anyone's standard. So Thailand's quite demanding if you want that O visa. Gaz77, do you think I'll be able to do my shopping for free in Mexico, Eddie? Somehow I don't think you will get very, very far. Mexico is not a rich country, and money means a lot to them, and so be careful when you're robbing them blind. Kiki and Jasmine on the Trail of Love. Today it's the Queen's anniversary. Hard to believe it being a year. I know, God almighty, a year since the Queen died. I remember it was a Thursday night, so obviously that would be a Friday night. So a year to the day. A year to the day. Jeez, your whole life just goes over, doesn't it? Amazingly. Your travels nowhere. Once they see the 800,000 baht, you don't have to prove monthly income. Oh, well, that's interesting, isn't it? But I don't know. You see some reports saying that what you said, but I always read it as plus. It says or a monthly income. But I was thinking it's both somehow. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure I would trust him personally. But anyway, that's interesting. Thanks for that. Anyway, Yours travels cowbunga. Yeah, that was the Ninja Turtles cowbunga. They were huge, weren't they? Let's see, Malcolm Craig. I got my retirement visa in January. Can't beat Thailand. The UK is only a flight away if you miss it. Okay, good for you, mate. Anyway, good for you. Let's see, Nicholas. Nick, I'm only missing Burma on the list of Southeast Asia place to visit. I'll do that a visa when I reach Thailand due to the 6 rules. Okay. Telecom. Xerox came up with a good mouse in the 70s. I didn't have a computer then, so I was kind of late starter with all of that. Stephen Tutty, nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Let's see. Telecom say, sort of in a demo in 1968. Telecom, by the way, is an expert on telecommunications and also the computer ends. He has some great info from the past. So I'll be looking forward to reading his weekly column later. Malcolm Crick, still plenty of agents to help with visa in Thailand. Okay, fair enough. Harry Holt, that's just ridiculous. If they do force that visa price out, I expect expats will go elsewhere. Thailand want people with money. The idea of, you can live like a king there on next to nothing. I think Thailand wants to clamp down on all of that. I think they want to, clamp down on it all. They want people who've got plenty of money. Let's see. McLaren, Eddie needs to do an elderly insurance program policy. We pay in each month, and then when we are 65, we automatically retire to a bar girl assisted home in Pattaya. HIV test. Okay, we don't want to talk about that. That's a bit of a grim subject. Nick Ross is telling us about Burma. He says it's way better than Thailand, unless you like honky tonks. Then it's all hidden. The village girls are fabulous. Okay, fair enough. Chris B. Hi, Eddie. Just back from Spain. Looking forward to a month in Thailand in mid-October. Hope you're well and happy. Okay, thanks for that. I hope you had a good time, mate. Anyway. John Mitch is here. Nice to hear from you, John. Nice to hear from you. I heard you enjoying the late sun we're having. Yeah, it's nice and well, it's good. It's kind of predictable, really. You know, I mean, the summer evens its way out. So if you get loads of crap in July and August, then you'll probably get a decent September. So yeah, it's nice. I mean, I was driving through the countryside today, and it looks lovely. Yeah, yeah, you know, absolutely. You know, Devon's a lovely place. Nice to hear from you. Delayed Dave says Myanmar is fascinating. Okay. My lad says, good morning, Eddie, and on the chat. Greetings from a spring morning in Sydney, Australia. So we've got people from all around the world here. I hope all's well, mate. Eddie, Telecom, Minnesota awaits your arrival. Maybe, yeah, maybe one day. Maybe one day. We'd have to say about that. Yeah, you know, I'm looking forward eventually to a hot climate, but yeah, you know, that's very, very interesting. Thanks anyway, Mark. And Andrew McIver just popped in, Eddie. I enjoy your travel chat. Can't stand the races chat. Nice to hear from you, mate. Nicholas, Cambodia and the Philippines felt the same for me. I hated it. Cambodia and the Philippines felt the same. Well, I'm a lot more used to Cambodia than I am to the Philippines. I like Philippines better the second time I went there. But Cambodia, I love Cambodia. But it's not the same, that country as the Cambodia that I got used to over the years, because yeah, you know, a lot of the areas that were really, really fun, like Sihanoukville and parts of Phnom Penh, are not really much fun anymore. They've been left to their to rot really. Nick Ross, Siam Reap. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Siam Reap's a good place. It's a good place. I love the Soksan area road in there. Area Soksan Road area in Siam Reap. It's great fun. It's got some terrific bars there. Love it. Nicholas, Thai visa seems to have got more complicated with paperwork. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Matthew Cartwright, good evening to you, mate. Good evening to you. Yourself, yes, Siam Reap or KL was my two choices for border on. I'd rather go to Siam Reap than KL any day, any day. Dutch Farang is here. John Mitch, do you watch Living the Dream, Retirement in Thailand? Good channel, shows how to get around Thai retirement rules legally. Is that the one? Is that the one with the unshaven guy with the? He's got a really really good channel. Retired, living the dream. Is that the one? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, thanks for that anyway. Malos, Cambodia and Vietnam are both losing its character once you see those golden arches. Okay. Michael Janaeus, nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Okay, so we're gonna talk about something in a moment. Let's just see. It's going to put you on Mitchell. It's either 800,000 held in a bank account or proof of 65,000 baht monthly income for retirement in Thailand. It's yeah, so it's not both. It's one or the other. But it's that I mean, I keep on reading that it's what one of these. They're going to ask you for both anyway. But if it's one or the other, then that's more reasonable. But if they're asking for both of those things, then I think it's a bit cheeky, really. But yeah, okay, it's either eight. Okay, fair enough. Thanks for your info. Thanks for your info, anyway, John. Thanks for that. Bobby Crush came back from a great trip earlier today. Tapas, mango cheese, sangria. One of the best shopping trips to Tesco we've had in a while. Okay, good for you, mate. Yours travels. I'm fed up with all these visa agents saying you can't do more than 2 visa runs, so you use them. People are doing 6 trips a year. I know there's some people, there's some people, yeah, who are in Thailand almost permanently and do a visa run once in a blue moon. And I kind of wonder, what kind of visa are they on? Jock Martins, Ed, all the best on retirement next year. Okay, thank you. Telecom, a burner shave. I haven't actually experienced that one just yet. Dutch Farang, how long can a UK lad stay in Thailand without tourist visa, with tourist visa, without leaving Thailand? Well, you get a 30-day on arrival, and you can renew it either through an agent for another 30 days. But total, you can do 60, 60, 60. If you go to the right visa agent, you can stay there for 6 months. They'll just keep renewing your visa, but you must pay a fee to a visa agent. So you can stay there a total of 6 months. Okay, so Yoz Travels is talking to Nick Ross. Nick Ross, what have you got against Thailand? Every comment you say, every other country is better than Thailand. I can't take you seriously. I'm Nick Ross. Thailand is over. Quite why you all seem to love it is anyone's guess. Go and live in Shan State in a village, you'll love it. Put Siam to shame. Well, but when but you said like that, that Siam Reap is not a good place, and I know that Siam Reap is. Nicholas, they would just shoot themselves in the foot. The Thais will become people. Thais will, because people will just go to other places. Same with the Chinese. I saw plenty of Chinese in Vietnam. Okay, fair enough. Jock Martins. Nobody's doing at least 6 visa runs in YR anyway, a year anyway. Telecom is still in the planning stages. Is that about you going to Thailand? Thailand, Telecom. Let's see, planning stages. Yeah, if you've never been to Thailand, you'd love it. Absolutely love it. Singapore, damn, that's another Thai visa. John Mitch, have you thought about getting the pre-medication to be tested free on the NHS? Oh my, I haven't thought about that one. I'd just rather not think about that. Hasta la vista. Hi, Eddie. Just tuned in, and myself and I both like the chat. Oh, yeah, you mean there's the travel chat and there's the chats that Andrew McIver keeps reminding us of. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we've got 150 in the chat right now. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Anyway, I'll just read a couple more comments. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, William O says, anybody had all sorts of dust in their windows the past few days. Yeah, I'm seeing dust over cars and everything, but apparently it's that time of year it comes crossing the Sahara. Yeah, all the cars are all covered in dust and everything. Jock Martin, Ed, no point retiring to Thailand, in my humble opinion. It's just an ATM to Thais. Deep down, they hate your guts. Well, I don't think they do hate your guts. I don't really think, but the bit about you being just an ATM, yeah, that's probably closer to it. It's up to you to protect against that. It's up to you to be adult and to know the script about all of that. Really, I mean, I touch on things like this in my forthcoming book, which I've written and and I'm proofreading at the moment. and which, disappointingly, nobody's mentioned tonight. No one said so far tonight, how's the boot coming on, Eddie? Well, anyway, that's going to be out. It's about a group of lads who go to Pattaya, and a bit about, you're just an ATM to them. That is touched on amongst other subjects anyway. So, we'll talk about that some other time. Dave Bull, how are you coping Southeast Asia? Not drinking, still go to bars? I don't know. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I don't know. But all I know is that I've been off the booze for 5 months now, and I feel all the better for it. Telecom, Eddie, my grandniece is in Rome, lovely place, for 3 months. She was at the Sistine Chapel yesterday and sent pics. She was all smiles. Fantastic. Sistine Chapel. I went to Rome. When I grew up, there was two places I wanted to visit. One of them was Italy, and the other was Brazil. And I've seen both of those places and traveled around them, and both of them lived up to expectations. Italy is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful country. It's absolutely wonderful, and it's an absolutely wonderful country. Rome is a fantastic. I wouldn't say no to another visit there. They had the Italian lira when I was in Rome. Massive amounts of noughts on the end of the currency. So I hope she's having a great time anyway, Mark. Daniel Mills, Eddie, my mother's in hospital at the moment with heart problems. So on a major downer, was stuck in A&E for 7 hours Tuesday night before she's seen the doctor. UK health service is a complete joke. And she's got heart problems. I would have thought heart would be absolute urgent as anything. Stuck in A&E for 7 hours Tuesday night before she's seen the doctor. That's not good. That's not good. My best wishes to it anyway, Daniel. Best wishes to her. David Coleman is here. Nice to hear from you, David. Nice to hear from you. Nick Ross. Eddie, Campot and Battambang are the places to go. Some of the islands are fabulous. Well, I've been to some of the islands. Forget Siam Reap. That's just for the tourist trap of Angkor Wat. No, I wouldn't say that. Campot. I went to Campot early this year. Oh no, it was around about Christmas, New Year time, wasn't it? And I liked it, and I'd go there again. And the expats who I met there were fine, and they absolutely loved the place. I liked it. Battambang. I went to Battambang about 10 years ago, and it was, I thought it was quite a grim place. It wasn't developed at all. All the pavements were all cracked, and it looked like the whole place was falling apart. Maybe it might be different now. I don't know. But Siam Reap, I like Siam Reap. It's a lot of good place in Siam Reap. Yours travels, Nick Ross. Yeah, okay. So to Nick Ross there. Okay. Daniel Mills. NHS is now like a third world health service. Highly worth getting private healthcare in the UK. You see, the thing is, there's no such thing as guaranteed, though, is it? I mean, you say that get private healthcare in the UK, but even then, if you have a heart attack, you have a heart attack. You could be, you might not even make it to the hospital, no matter what care you've got. I mean, getting out of bed of a morning is a risk, isn't it? I mean, there's some people who live on their own. I live on my own. If I took a heart attack, I mean, who's going to ring an ambulance for me? Everything's a risk. Nick Ross says Africa is too dangerous now. I don't think that's on the menu for me. William O. Daniel, I got knocked down on my motorbike and they couldn't even get an ambulance out. I ended up having to get carried into a taxi and waited 14 hours. And that's in Britain. That's the national health in Britain. God almighty. That is absolutely awful. Yours travels. If you arrive November, you can actually do 10 months with a visa agent as it's a new calendar year. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, John Mitch, get a tourist visa from the Thai embassy. You get 60 days on arrival and you can renew it for 30 days, total 90 days. Okay, fair enough. No, no, we've actually got into an hour of this, which is talking the chat. So there's still some there's still Bobby Crush says show some mucky pigs. No, no, not show some mucky pigs. Show some mucky pigs. Okay, okay. Well, I'll be back in a minute, and there may be some mucky pigs. You decide anyway. Back in a minute. Okay, back. Okay, I've got my favourite, my diet ginger ale. Got a bit of ice in there now. Okay, okay. So anyway, Mucky Picks. YouTube might not like this one. It's off, it's off Google Images, and they might not like this picture. But anyway, it's a lot of chats there. A lot of chat. A lot of chat going on there. A whole lot of chat going on. Okay. Okay. Caption this photo. Okay. So what would your caption be for this photo from my favorite golden oldie TV series, which most people don't even seem to remember these days, but it was a wonderful program with the most beautiful girls in it. So caption this photo, okay, from the TV series UFO. Okay, so what would your caption be of that photo? Okay, okay. Hopefully, Google will approve of that one. Okay, let's see. Yeah, yeah. Just for Ang says camel toe bulge. Okay, Bobby Crush. Look at my clunge. Okay, it's not a word that I use very much. Telecom. Can I ride your camel toe? Okay, okay. Matthew Carter goes with camel toe. McLaren. Eddie's downloading mucky shit. I hope YouTube. This. I hope they approve of this because he's got a. I hope they approve of this. David Coleman says, I hate to say it, but I think the UK is finished. Okay. Yours travels. I would like to be clamped in that. Nick Ross, my G string is killing me. Okay. Her name, by the way, was Aisha. Aisha. She was. This was like right at the end of the 1960s, although they showed the program throughout the 70s. UFO. UFO. Her name was Aisha, and she was a TV presenter as well as playing one of the spacey people in the series UFO. But she looks quite angry, so what is the caption of that picture? Just for you dirty, dirty John Mitch, nice camel toe, gorgeous woman, nice camel toe you got there, darling. Nicholas, I'm a little teapot. Bobby Crush, with hair like this, you know I have a massive bush. Well, he did in them days. Reborn, Itsy and Betsy. I'm sure you actually mean that in a nice way. Lex. YouTube approves of camel toe talk, do they? Let's bloody hope they do. It seems to be pictures that they don't like. Simon Ice 41, are you from Egypt? Okay. Stephen Zodiac, okay, can't put that one on there. Let's see. McLaren didn't realize men were that feminine. Okay. Yeah, Bobby Crush. I applied to be in Planet of the Apes, but my agent got me this job instead. Okay, that actually came out. It was made about the time of Planet of the Apes, believe it or not. Tonto, ladyboy lump. I know in this day and age you might be a bit suspicious. Dave White, best one so far. What are you looking at my tits? Okay. Telecom, Taylor. Taylor. Also known as Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes Taylor. Not so sure who that is. Matthew Cartwright, I need a staple of your minge. Cats and Good Coffee. She is she is an alpha woman, a necklace in Brave New World. Telecom, you maniacs, you blew it all up. Yeah, that was that marvelous surprise ending on Planet of the Apes, wasn't it? You finally did it, you maniacs. You blew it all up. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. David, almost 12 stone. No, he's not talking about this. He's talking about his dad. David, who's been on the show a number of times. He was on the other channel. He's going to Thailand pretty soon. He's now lost. Wow. He must have lost 3.5 stone at least by now. Good for you, David. Anyway, good for you. Good for you, mate. McLaren, she's the female equivalent of the walking carpet of Star Wars, okay? But I think, let's see. Telecom, A for Alpha asks, Alpha, was it Alpha Moon Base? Was that the next? Because I've seen that program many times during the 1970s when it was repeated all the time. But then I watched it a few years back, and I watched all 26 episodes, and there were only ever 26 episodes of UFO made. And after watching it, I decided it's quite simply one of the greatest TV shows ever. I loved it, absolutely loved it. Yeah, Charlie Stewart, that reminds me, where's the bike shed? Okay. Bobby Crush, what are my pronouns? Shut up, Gable, and grab my jugs. It's 1978, for Christ's sake. Okay. Yeah, Chuck Martin said, do the 6 months on, 6 months off. You know it makes sense. Okay. Telecom, Charlton Heston was Taylor in Planet of the Apes. A marvelous movie, marvelous. I'd certainly watch that again. Ben Leno, am I the only one looking at her face? She looks determined. What kind of look has she got? You know, I'm sure she's looking at him and she's saying, "Are you looking at my fanny?" I mean, I'm sure that's what she's saying. That would be my guess. That would be my guess. Telecom, damn you all to hell. That's a wonderful surprise see when he sees the broken Statue of Liberty at the end. Absolutely. Yeah. Bobby Crush, what does the A on my necklace mean? I'm the manager at Argos. Oh, okay. She was a Aisha. That was her real name. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna get that off the screen. I'm gonna get that off the screen because we've had a bit of fun with that one. You know, YouTube might demonetize this video for that. They might demonetize this video for that. You know what they're like. Your travels. Sometimes I feel I was a place in these live streams of 43. Well, I'm the only one who still shows pictures. I mean, but if you get the chance to see UFO, I mean, it has got the most gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous lineup of real women. You've got the beautiful Gabriel Drake. You've got Aisha in there. I think there was someone else. And also, in UFO, you had a very, very young, like the original MILF, Wanda Venham, absolutely gorgeous MILF, who is the mother of Benedict Cumberbatch, well, Cumbersnatch, whatever that word, for whatever that's worth, anyway. David, you need to get to Hillary Ford, Ed. I love Hillary Ford. The live bands there, wonderful. Telecom, wait till you're 65 plus. I know your life goes quick, mate. Bottle Baby. Yeah, I do believe in fairies. Nice to hear from you. Bottle Baby, strip nude for your killer. English subtitles, and then the scene where she goes into the bathroom, you see the filmmaker's film crew's reflection. I wasn't looking at their reflection, I was looking at something else. Charles Stewart Wright, at a okay boutique hotel for 3 nights. Then later I see you had stayed there. Nice. Good hotel in Phnom Penh. Very, very good. David stays there as well. David there. Okay. So anyway, so let's so okay, so let's get that off the screen. Not off the screen. That off the screen. Okay, so now this is not a bit of royal bashing, but it's a day today that the Queen, God bless her, died at the age of 96. The wonderful Queen Elizabeth II. She died a year ago today, and her son, her eldest son, Prince Charles, became King Charles. So he has been now King of England for the last year. And the question is, what do you think of King Charles so far? What do you think of him so far? Bobby Crush. Bobby Crush, may Her Majesty rest in eternal peace. Okay. May Her Majesty, yeah. She was a wonderful queen. She was a wonderful queen. Um, she was an absolutely wonderful queen. 96 years of age, 70 years on the throne. Absolutely wonderful queen. Very, very dignified. And while a lot of the other members of the royal family acted the goat, she was always dignified. But King Charles, he was Prince Charles. He waited until he's about 73 years of age to become king. So, what do you think of him? He's been king for a year now. Charlie Stewart Wright, buffoon. Telecom. I think he needs to wear a smaller crown. Okay. Bottle Baby, rest in peace. No one hears about it. I know he's been very, very quiet. I mean, I don't think he's been very public. Bobby Crust, the coronation was a woke fest. They ruined it. Yeah, I put something like that on Facebook, and they gave me a warning. Don't do it again. Yours travels. King Charlie has been uninspiring and boring, just like we all thought. Okay, fair enough, fair comment. Now, before we go any further, I better put a picture of King Charles and his King Charles and his family on there. Nice picture of King Charles and his family. Oh, that lovely, isn't that lovely? King Charles and his family. There we go. Aren't they beautiful? I tell you what, I think, some may argue that they'd be better on the throne. Aren't they beautiful? Isn't that a lovely, lovely picky? Isn't that a beautiful picky? Oh my God! Oh my, that's oh, I can look at that picture. I would like to cuddle that dog and those little puppies. Sorry, that was just a joke. That's not the King Charles who was on the throne. Okay. So anyway, this is King Charles. This is King Charles here. He's the one in the kilt with the sporran. Bobby Crush, Elizabeth the Great. Yes. Telecom. She was 25 when she took the throne, and she was wonderful. She was wonderful. Yogi Bear, Ed, I think he's doing a really good job, but he had a great teacher and 74 years of training. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. I think it's early days. Yeah, I think he's been surprisingly quiet, really. I mean, we've seen the Christmas Day speech and a couple of other things from him, but I think he's been very, very quiet. In fact, I think he very, very rarely appears in the news. Yeah, I haven't seen much of him at all. Dave White. Okay. Nick Ross. Get rid of the progeny of the Norman invaders. That includes Charlie Boy. No, can't put. No, don't want to put that on the screen. Can't put that on. I can't say that. Well, I did put it on the screen, but I can't say that. McLaren, I like it. Let's all take a line of Charlie out of respect. Okay. That line of Charlie. Okay. No, I wouldn't approve of that. Telecom, yeah, that's they do call that. They've called it that in England for quite a while. Jock Martins, Ed for Freedom of Merseyside. Okay. Cab over Mike. The royal family is as screwed as the rest of the country. Okay. Telecom. Yeah. Super Steve Jones, Bonnie King, Charlie Stewart Wright. Which one's Camilla? None of those ones. Oh, that's Camilla in that picture there. Yours travels. My dad is fuming. He has 100 grand hidden away with the Queen's face on the notes, and now next year he has to change them all. We haven't seen the any notes with King Charles on them, have we? I think by the time they come out, very, very few of us will be using any cash anyway. You, Jock Martins, get the sheep out, lad. Okay. Telecom, nice kilt. Yeah, I mean, he loves Scotland, and he's often in Balmoral, isn't he? And that's where the Queen passed away. What do you think of that photo there? I personally think that photo looks really, really creepy. That looks like it looks like a scene from something like the Wicker Man. It looks like he's Lord Summerisle, and he's picking his his wenches. I mean, it looks very, very creepy, that picture. Very, very creepy. It's like as if they're being manipulated in some way. It's not really a nice picture, that one. Yeah. Bobby Crush, you'll have your happy between puppies when you get to Pattaya. Okay. Bottle Baby, what's with the jacket? Yeah, not so sure. Telecom says business plaid. Is that what it is? Nick Ross says get rid of the progeny of the Norman invaders for good. It often goes back back a long way. Grand Slam King, top live, Eddie. Proper buzz off. You were a kid. You are a kid always bringing an instant smile to my kite. Have a mint weekend, Captain. Okay, thanks for that, mate. Thanks for that. Bobby Cross. Every time I see Prince William, he's in a Somalian cafe or got his arms around other immigrants. Would be nice to see him cuddle some English working class children in Rotherham. No comment. Dave Pipes says King Chocolate 3-6. So I mean, the thing is, I mean, you know what? I heard somebody saying Charlie has worked hard. King Charles, let's be dignified. Let's call him King. I've heard that he's worked hard in his first year. What exactly? What has he worked hard as exactly? You know, what has he exactly worked hard at in the last year? I'm not quite sure. I think he's been, not really prominent at all. I've hardly seen him in the news. I've hardly seen him, anywhere really in the past year. He seems to have disappeared. Yeah. Super Steve Jones, big up Mike Yarwood. Yeah, whatever happened to him? God bless Mike Yarwood. I do believe in fairies. His bird Camilla's a good one. I kind of like Camilla. I mean, during that ceremony though, when she got the crown on her head, I'm sure she was thinking, that to Diana, Yeah. Yeah, Nick Ross, Charlie should give us money he makes from renting the UK seabed to fund the nurses' pay round. £250 million a year. Yeah, make no mistake about it. I mean, all of these people, they're all billionaires. They're not millionaires, they're billionaires. Yeah, Charlie, even likes of Prince William, they're here to vast fortunes. Cab over Mike, I heard he's taking asylum seekers into Buckingham Palace. I wouldn't have thought so, mate. Yours travels. I'll put that on the screen, but I can't repeat it. Okay. Yeah, Barat Sakti. I'd love to be the king, living out your dream, wearing dresses. Okay. Nick Ross, they're all family. What makes them royal? Well, I don't know. Sometimes I just think it's a puppet show, really. But if it works, then why the hell not? London Cab Thailand, nice to hear from you, mate. I would like to see a ferret run up his leg. Okay, fair enough. Bottle Baby, the English version of Deliverance. Yeah, it does look a bit creepy. It looks like he's like one of these cult leaders, and these are all his followers. It looks like a very, very creepy photograph, that one. Nick Ross, at one time, Charlie wanted to be a tampon. Oh, yeah, that was the famous phone call, wasn't it? When he phoned up Camilla and said, I want to be your tampon. Yuck. Steve Zodiac, the original Braveheart. Okay. Telecom, the girls are looking away from Charlie. I don't blame them. I mean, I don't blame them. And a couple of them are looking at Camilla. But the others are looking away. They're thinking, what are they thinking? Those ones who are, the three, and nearest, what are they thinking? Are they thinking, oh my God, I hope he doesn't come and talk to me? Is that what they're thinking? They are kind of looking away. But maybe they are. Maybe they're trying not to burst out laughing at his kilt and his sporran. Maybe, maybe that's what it is. Mister, claims on stolen oil and lands. Okay, nice to hear from you. Jock Martins. Every time I see Ed, I'm glad I got my car sorted. Okay. Cats and good coffee. Are they reptilians like David Icke says? Whatever happened to him? Didn't tell you David Icke was claiming that Cuba was going to disappear. Oh, Mister, Me Too. Oh, are you talking about the Me Too movement? Is that what you're trying to trying to imply, mister. Is that really? Oh, well. Nick Ross, Eddie, what makes Charlie Boy right? Maybe a lot of roles in the past with dicks. You know what I mean. I liked you. I'm really, really glad that the throne, the crown, did not pass directly from the Queen to William, because William hasn't earned it yet. And at least Charlie's waited a long, long, long time to become King of England. And he's finally done it. And even though he hasn't really been spectacular, he hasn't really done anything particularly bad either. And I still like him. I still like him. I still like him. I still like him. So anyway, yeah, Bottle Baby smirking bits when she got crowned. Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, Steve Zoda, he should join AC/DC. They love an old bloke in fancy dress. Okay. Bobby Crush. Eddie may not be a member of the Royal family, but he's a member of the Monger Rolls. Yeah, long may he reign. Okay, thank you for that. Rob J. I like the Royals. To be honest, he looks like he is still dealing with the death of his mum. How will we cope with that life? Plus, everywhere he goes, they want to talk about the Queen. Can't be easy. Uh, Telecom, I can't really put that one on the screen. It says a word there that I don't think YouTube. It's not the word banned. It's the word that comes before that. So I don't think YouTube would approve of that word. Malos, royal family, blue bloods, maybe a bit of reptilian going on there. Okay. Nick Ross says the royals' days are numbered. What a shamble. It's called constant indoctrination. I'm not so sure their days are. Well, if their days are numbered, mate, they've been numbered for the past, 1,000 years or whatever. The royals have been around a long time, and I think the royal family will outlive, most of us anyway. Bottle Baby. We shouldn't judge because Camilla Ways have a great put. Okay. Nicholas, I hope he is wearing underwear. I wouldn't like to find out. Telecom, I knew Ian Mitchell. Is Ian Mitchell? Ian Mitchell, is he from that band? Is he? R.I.P. Really? Is he real? Is he really? I seen him at the Liverpool Empire, 1974. Little known that the big guy, the lead singer, was what he was. Nick Ross, we have a Muslim head of state in Scotland, and it's coming to the UK soon. Okay, we've got a Muslim mayor of our capital city, haven't we? And I've seen him interviewed. He seems very, very demure, really. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Jack Wild. Time you came to Dublin for a pint of Guinness, Eddie. Well, I don't actually drink, but I would like to see Ireland. I really, really would. Yeah, but Buster Gonap, no need to talk about this. Did he really have to carry his bollocks in a wheelbarrow? Okay, so anyway, Nick Ross. Eddie, it's time you tried some other platforms other than YouTube. No, Eddie, only since 1066. Okay, well, it's almost 1,000 years, isn't it? Bottle baby is a doom-laden comment. It will end with a bang when the Chinese impose their will over the future world. Okay. Bobby Cross says the coronation was very moving. I know, yeah. Zadok the priest playing as Charles unrolled to be anointed and sitting in the 700-year-old St. Edward's chair with the stone of sin on the scone underneath it. It was breathtaking. Yeah, there was a wonderful coronation, a bit woke for my liking. Nick Ross, they had a bunch of freeloading invaders. Okay. Hard Tulip says, not happy because he was abusive to Diana. He paid no property inheritance and he's gradually trying to bring the disgraced Prince Andrew back. Okay, fair enough. Not happy with him at all. Okay, so on that note, I think we'll ditch that story there. Okay. And what else are we going to do? Something I wanted to do. Let's see. Where are we here? Something else before we go. Okay, Jack Wild. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so let's get this. Now, guess who's got a new album out? Guess who's got a new album out? Let's see. Can we get them? Can we get them? Guess who's got a new album out? There you go, the Rolling Stones. I mean, basically, apparently it's their first new album in 18 years. And I vaguely remember the last one. The last Rolling Stones album I remember quite well was the one that came right at the end of the 1980s when it was said they were already past it. And that was about 35 or 34 years ago. Nick Ross says, the Rolling Stones, Hackney Diamonds. I don't really know what really can you make of the Rolling Stones. I don't. 80 years of age. It's amazing. I mean, the one on the far right is probably had all the white powdery stuff of an entire continent, and he's still going. It's just a strange story, really, that these 80-year-old men are still knocking about on the stage when we all thought they'd be dead years ago. And do they know something that we don't know? Do they know the secret of it? Of eternal? I mean, Mick Jagger still dances. A lot of 80-year-old fellas couldn't even bloody move, let alone dance. Jock Martin says fake news. Telecom, the Stones still have it. They certainly did. Who goes to see the Rolling Stones in this day and age? Who goes to see them? I mean, is it old people their age who remember when they were young, or is it young people? I mean, who goes to see the Rolling Stones? Bottle Baby, Black and Blue. No, I don't think it was. I think it was Mixed Emotions. It was the one that came at the end of the 80s when they made a comeback. Because before then, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, I think for many, many years, hadn't spoken to each other. And I think in the late 80s, they patched it up and came back. But get the wheelchairs out, okay? Bottle Baby, well, they're still alive, absolutely. Nick Ross, it's garbage. I mean, it's garbage, is it? I mean, I haven't heard the new album, but really, I mean, what are they going to sing about? Is Mick Jagger going to sing about "I Love You, Baby"? Because I would assume that an 80-year-old man singing, "I love you, baby," and all this, baby, and all this kind of stuff, is he talking about an 80-year-old woman? It's all a bit bizarre, really, isn't it? Travels. I love the early stuff, but would never pay to see them after 2000. I wouldn't pay to see 80-year-old men prancing around the stage in silly trousers. Yogi Bear, it's not the Stones. They've got a new single out called Angry. The album isn't out till the end of October. Well, that's not very far away, is it? Telecom, hey, more power to them. No lip syncing, and they still have the moves and the pipes. Okay, absolutely. I mean, amazing band. I mean, when you think 60 years they've been making records and prancing about the stage in silly trousers, absolutely wonderful. Amazing, iconic band. I mean, I just don't know what to make of it. I mean, if someone said to me, you've won a free ticket to see the Rolling Stones, the first thing I think of is, to see a bunch of 80-year-old fellas prancing about the stage. I'm not sure it would. I love their music. I love their old stuff, but I'm not so sure that I would want to see them on stage. Steve Zodiac, Mick Jagger stole my girlfriend 40 years ago. He's welcome. Bottle Baby, people with money. Let's see. Barat, amazing what being rich and not earning a living does. Okay. Cab over Mike, sex and drugs and rock and roll. Okay, okay. Apparently, Bill Wyman is going to be playing on the album, and he's actually older than them. I think he's more like he's close to his mid-80s, isn't he? Let's see. Barat says here, but my name is Mick Jagger. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, telecom. I don't care what people say. Rock and roll is here to stay. Absolutely, absolutely. I just find it amazing that these. I mean, I'm speechless. I don't know what to make of an 80-year-old band who was still. I mean, what kind of songs are they? You would have expected 80-year-old fellas to be putting out songs like "My Old Man's a Dustman," or "When I'm Cleaning Windows." But to be putting out rock songs about and all this kind of stuff. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that at all. Let's see. And now about this one. So this is what Jagger looks like now. Oh my God. He looks like something out of a horror movie, doesn't he? I mean, he looks like something out of Hellraiser or The Walking Dead. I mean, his missus is all right. Apparently, she's 36. He's 80. I mean, I'd like to think that I could still be, walking and talking and moving about and dancing at 80 years of age. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. But God Almighty, I mean, what does he look like in that picture? Hellraiser, The Walking Dead. Kiki and Jasmine says Bob Dylan and Neil Young get 20 somethings at their concert. Timeless music. I prefer to see Neil Young. I would like to see Neil Young. Yeah. Mr. Apple not allowed in China here today. Okay, fair enough. Bottle Baby. What was that name of the album I had on 8-track? Okay, I don't know. Can't remember. Cab over Mike, looking poor old Phil Collins, a sorry state on his last. I mean, some people have a better physical ability than others. Some people are just going to live a bit longer than others, aren't they? I mean, Phil Collins looked like quite a lively, fit fella many years ago, but apparently his physical health is not good. Ben Leno, let's spend the night together. Is that an invite? Telecom, yeah, absolutely. Telecom, let's spend some time together. Made to say this on answer. Yeah, I remember that story. Remember that. Nick Ross, Wyman is on the album, and he's a few years older than them. He must be about 83, 84, something like that. Mr. says, odd cats, eh? Okay, fair enough. Yogi Bear says, I've seen the Rolling Stones twice, and I think it's the music that keeps them going. The critics are saying when it comes out, it'll be as good as the album Some Girls from 1978. Okay, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. Yeah, Barat, I can't say no Viagra. Okay, fair enough. Telecom, just go with the flow, man. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yours travels. Yours travels. Telecom, Mark. You would love some live bands in Thailand, mate. They're great on the rock classics. Absolutely. I love it. It's one of the most underrated things about Thailand, especially somewhere like Pattaya or Bangkok, is how great the live music is. They love the old classics, Deep Purple and Zeppelin and all that kind of stuff. Love it. Who's that? Barat. Yeah, here's Freddie. Here's Freddie. Okay. Yeah, Freddie. He does look a bit like Freddie Krueger. Charlie Stewart, right? Bill Wyman is 86. Yeah, wouldn't have 80 bloody 6. God almighty. Nick Ross, he looks worse than that picture. Okay. Barat, Freddie Krueger. Yeah, Mister 70 and moved Walker to auto trunk. Okay, so anyway, I'm just going to skip through this. Simon, I say, I think it was disrespectful carrying on after Charlie Watts died. Oh, come on! I mean, it's last man standing. I don't really think, Simon, that comes into it. I think, I mean, Charlie was someone I see him in an interview. I think I always got the impression the Rolling Stones became a job that he did, a very, very highly paid job. And I see him in an interview, Charlie Watts, and he said, the Rolling Stones are some people that I know. Um, and I'm not so sure Charlie was the biggest fan of the Rolling Stones. He said in the same interview, he said, even after all these years, people still love the Rolling Stones. I don't know why. So I think Charlie would, he would have a good attitude, that they were carrying on. I don't think it's disrespectful at all. Telecom, but I die with a smile on my face. Yeah, you'd love Thailand. You'd love Thailand. The live bands. When I went to Thailand, the first thing I did was go and check out the live bands. Some really, really great stuff. Yogi Bear. Bill Wyman will play on one track and Charlie Watts plays on two tracks, recorded just before he died last year. Telecom, Eddie, it's almost Saturday there. Oh, almost Saturday there. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Thailand's 6 hours ahead, isn't it? It's 6 hours ahead. I was almost Saturday here. Yeah, it's 20 to midnight. It is 20 to midnight. I got about it, but I'm going to watch a late night movie anyway. Hard tulip. Jagger's girlfriend killed herself a few years ago. I know money problems with her fashion bins. He was pretty quick to find a new girlfriend. I read she was a scuba ballerina. Did he have a baby? Oh, God Almighty! I don't know. Whatever. I don't want to go into all of that. Don't want to go into all of that. Well, whether he's being a gentleman to the women is another thing, isn't it? Cab over Mike. Keith Richards is a medical mystery. How he's still alive, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to skip that one. Okay, so anyway, the Rolling Stones are still around at 80. Oh my God, it's just unbelievable, defies belief. So before I go, I'm going to do a couple of movie recommendations, okay? The stuff that'll be watching on Netflix. No, watch this on Amazon. Now, I've seen this movie, Mad Max Fury Road, with Tom Hardy. And Tom Hardy's good in the movie, but, he doesn't have much dialogue. Charlie Theron, Charlie's Theron's wonderful. But I watched this movie. I wasn't aware how highly rated this movie is. It's absolutely, totally highly rated. And it gets some great reviews. And I wasn't a huge fan of the original Mad Max, but I thought I'll sit down and watch this one. And wow, this is a blinder of a movie. You do need to see it on a big screen. I mean, I've seen it on a big TV screen, But wonderful stuff, whack the volume up. It's basically about Mad Max in a savage future society. And it's like one long chase scene where they're on the run from these vicious warlords. And, they have their harem. Mad Max and Charlie have their harem on board this vehicle. It's like a long chase scene, but it's done in such an exciting way. And Mad Max Fury Road, great movie. Telecom says the Stones began in 1962. That's the year I was born, just 61 years ago. They might just make it. Absolutely, absolutely. Catching on Coffee. I saw Mad Max Fury Road in the cinema, except the feminist female characters. It was good. I thought it was terrific. When you think it was made by the same guy, George Miller, I think he did a better job in this one with a bigger budget than the original movies. Jock Martin's Mad Max was good. The Gibson one, are you talking about? Bobby Crust, the Rolling Stones are so good. Oh, I'm not going to repeat that one. Nick Ross, we don't need another hero. Tina's gone. Yeah, I think did that Mad Max movie. I think that was one of the more disappointing ones. That one. I mean, I don't think it did well at the box office, that one. But I would definitely recommend, if you're looking for something, 2 hours of really, really thrilling, really, really exciting activity, I would recommend Mad Max Fury Road. Excellent. Excellent. Well worth a look, that one. Really, really enjoyed that. And finally, I'm gonna mention a movie. Let's just have a little drink of this. Finally, my final movie recommendation, if you've got Netflix, is a lesser known movie, right? But one that I watched last night for the third time. For the third time. Yeah, Cats and Good Coffee. Read that Tom Hardy and Charlie Theron did not get along when they filmed the movie. Can't think of that. Yeah, Bottle Baby, drum roll. Okay. So anyway, this movie, which I have seen, I watched it last night for the third time. And have you ever seen a movie where you thought, am I watching the same movie as other people? Because all the reviews for this film are really, really quite duff. And I think, people are upset because a bit of it's in bad taste, or it's not woke or PC or anything like that. But I watched it for the third time last night, and I decided that I loved it. It is this movie here, available on Netflix. It's called The Brothers Grimsby, with that wonderful comedian Sacha Baron Cohen, Mark Strong. And basically what it is, it's a movie about two brothers who were separated at a very, very early age. And one of them stays in a grim town called Grimsby and likes football and is surrounded by loads of kids, and doesn't seem to work a great deal and all of that. Whereas the other one goes on to be an international spy, and they team together, and it is a great laugh. Absolutely love it. I watched it last night for the third time, and I loved it. Yeah, missed it. Then they gave you healthcare. Okay. Yeah, let's see. The last movie I watched was Two Girls, One Cup. I haven't seen that one. Charlie Stewart, right? Classic film. Barat, pleased to meet you. Cats and Good Coffee. I do not know that one. I will check it out. It is wonderful. I've seen the reviews which slag this movie down, saying that it's not funny. I think it's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. And a lot of people are upset because it's not politically correct, and some of the scenes go a bit over the top in their vulgarity. The scene, with involving elephants and all that kind of stuff. But I actually think it's a wonderful. I watched it 3 times, and I wouldn't be surprised before long if I watch it a fourth time. Telecom, never saw it. Have a look at Telecom. It's well worth a look. Well worth a look. Yeah, it's very, very British, but it's actually got quite an impressive budget. It's quite it's quite a big budget movie. This one, some great action scenes in it, but it's really, really funny. Yes, Travels, the Brother Grimsby. No thanks. Okay. Matthew Cartwright. He's a bit of a knob, as a Sasha, but his stuff is very funny. I think he's a naturally funny person. I think he's a brilliant comedian. Kiki and Jasmine. Has anyone seen Sound of Freedom? Not yet. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Okay. So anyway, if you haven't actually seen this movie, The Brothers Grimsby, it's on Netflix. Ignore the hostile reviews. Go and watch it, and you may even find that you want to see it again and again. Low bald ones, another had the style of Liam Gallagher. Okay. Pleased to meet you. Was that the catchphrase? Let's see. Jock Mans, it's not first blood. Okay. Bobby Cross. Eddie, you should watch Two Girls, One Cup when you finish the script. Two Girls, One Cup. I've vaguely heard of that one. I don't really know that movie. Yeah, Telecom, I love the British, and we love the Americans, okay, Mark? We love the Americans, okay? So that's really, really nice to know. Yeah. Bobby Crush, Police Academy 38 is a great film. What is this movie? Yourself, Two Girls, One Cup is a must watch. Hollywood spent 200 million on that one. Two Girls, One Cup. Is that on Netflix or Amazon? Or is it, what is that? What is that exactly? Telecom as Airplane 2023 at the theatres. Yeah, wonderful. I love the original Airplane. Barat says Sasha, best movie man ever. Okay. Okay, Cats and Good Coffee and Netflix, a good one based on the true story is The Stranger. Great actors there. Okay, so anyway, we're going to finish on that one anyway. Listen, guys, thanks for coming along tonight. It's almost midnight. You know, I better hurry, otherwise my pumpkin my pumpkin will be waiting for me. Okay, I might just lose one of my sandals, my slippers. Okay, anyway, listen, guys, thanks for coming along tonight. Thanks for coming along. Have a great weekend. I'll be back. I'll be back Monday night at 9 o'clock. Hope all's well with everyone. Have a great weekend, and well, I'll see it on Monday. Where am I? Where's my play out here? Where's my 70s porn music play out? Okay. Have a great weekend, guys. Cheers.